It's a beautiful afternoon in Pretoria for this FNB Classic Clash, and it surely is a classic. Afrikaanse Hoër Seunskool up against Grey College. Affies versus Grey, one of the biggest matches in schoolboy rugby. And between these two sides, they share 50 former Springboks. The Grey College students making the trip from Bloemfontein for undoubtedly one of the biggest matches of the year. A little earlier, we saw the second team from Affies narrowly defeat Grey 25-20 in what has been very good conditions so far. 33% humidity, no chance of rain, 25 degrees Celsius. So, a beautiful afternoon for rugby. With me in the commentary box, former Lions hooker Etienne Reiniger. Etienne, what a day of rugby we've got in store.
Yeah, good afternoon, Derek. Well, exactly like you said, what a day of schoolboy rugby. Affies, of course, last year they beat Grey for the first time in a decade. We quickly have a look there. The captain Gideon Bekes, look out for him. The 8-man Dean Skoenius, very potent with ball in hand. And at the back, Rikus Pretorius, Janko van Henningen. They've looked good this season so far.
Well, Grey go into this game on the back of a very good victory over Oakdale. You mentioned Skoenius, he scored a very good try. They were actually trailing at half-time and ended up winning that one 48-23. In contrast, though, Affies go into this match on the back of their first loss of the season. A hard-fought one, though, against Paul Boys, our captain, by Skalk Erasmus at hooker. Watch out, though, for Kabos Elof at Lucid. Played SA Schools last year, a giant of a man.
Yeah, that loose trio, Philip Kraus, Jaco Labuschagne and Richard du Plessis. Two of them played Craven Week last year. So that's a key to this game for them. And although they did lose against Paul Boys High, they're still kind of favourites for this game. So many of the players in this squad were in the squad last year when they beat Grey College in Bloemfontein.
Well, it's been a conveyor belt of talent from these two schools in the past. I mentioned all the Springboks, and Affies are the alma mater of the most recent Springbok captain in Farid Dupré. And of course, just looking through the list, they've got the likes of Bismarck du Plessis, Yanni du Plessis, the late Ruben Creer, all coming from Grey Bloem. So it really has been a factory of Springboks between these two sides. 42 former Boks from Grey Bloem, and then 8 from Affies. And as we await the two sides to run out.
Yeah, and recently they found out, they always used to think that the first game between these two teams was in 1953, but actually it was in 1923, the first game between these two teams, which Grey College won coincidentally 7-0.
So almost a century of rugby between these two sides. Massive derby. We see the Grey Bloem stands going crazy. 40
games between these two teams. 29 with Grey College have been on the winning side, 6 for Affies and 5 drawn games. And I'll tell you what, the odds for a draw today, not too bad either.
Well, you mentioned the last time these two sides faced each other last year, Affies coming out on top 37-31. Grey previously 42-31, and then back in 2015, or no, rather 2015 was a 29-18 victory for Affies. But so Affies at the moment have history going for the most recent history, though. But as you mentioned, Etienne, if you go further back in time, it's been all college.
Yeah, and coincidentally, the 1996 Affies team that beat Grey College for the first time, they have a reunion here today. So a lot to play for these boys from Afrikaanse Hoër. The season so far, 354 points for Affies, 89 against them. But the boys from Grey College, they play for the jersey.
They certainly do, and they are led in the front row. Gideon Bekes, the tight head for Grey College. And they certainly are pumped for this clash. Can they continue their unbeaten run so far this season? Very good victories over the likes of Framesby, Sterling, Maritzburg College. They put 60 points past them, and Garsfontein. And here come the home side, Affies, led by the hooker Skalk Erasmus. And watch out for that man. Under 13 Craven Week, under 16 Grand Como, also played Craven Week last year. He is a man to watch for the future. The referee for this clash, Renier Kutsia, he'll be assisted by Monray Gilbert and Corneille Rousseau.
Yeah, the front row of Affies is going to be key. Like you said, with Captain Skalk Erasmus, together with that mountain of a man, Kabous Elof and Adu van Wyk, they've built a strength around this team, around a strong pack. And we should see dominance from the Affies side.
Kaptein wit. Reg. Kaptein blou. Kijk, jy reg.
And we are underway here at Affies. The man kicking off proceedings, the fly-half, Christopher Schroeder from Grey College.
Hierso terug. Dankie. Hou hom net daar. Wag daar.
Hart clears it out to his flank to Swart.
7, 3.
Long boot downfield, and he easily finds touch. Does the fly-off.
That was a very good exit by Affies. Clean catch from a kickoff. And Rwanda Swart sends it almost all the way to the halfway line. And now Affies can put pressure on that grey line out. We've seen throughout the season they're very competitive in the line out.
And as you just mentioned there, Affies stealing the very first line-out ball from Grey Bloem. Hart giving it amongst the forwards to Affies. Duplessis who goes down with the ball. Stolen there by Grey Bloem. Kriya to Bjerkes. De Van Tonde. Manus Boshoff with the ball. Kriya. Hard running there from Squinius. But penalised are Grey Bloem.
That was the obstruction line. The turnover was won by Tristan Spies. And that's the one thing about Grey College year in, year out. It's a tempo with which they play. They probably breed there on the fields playing touch rugby. And that's a one thing that Affies will have to compete with, and that's the tempo of a match. It's Jaco de Beer, the line that he ran. If he ran through, it would have been perfectly fine, but he stopped. And unfortunately, they got blown up the obstruction.
So Affies, a good line-out ball there for Dylan du Preez. Quickly taken by Hart. Gets it out to Potgieter.
Release, tackler, los.
Great defence there from Grey College. Eventually the ball does come out for Affies. Nice running back, Krauser. Hart. Long pass out. Up along the ground. Collected by Grey College. Kriya.
Yes, 6, last.
Celia operates at scrum off. Squinius. Man to watch out for. Kriya. Skips one, gets it out to his captain, or rather Matthew Wessels. Excellent defensive from Affies. They turn things over. Krauser. Can't hold on.
Unfortunately, it was a massive tackle by Kabous Elof. But we've got a boy lying on the beach, on the cricket pitch right in the middle. It looks quite serious. And that's never good to see in school rugby. But what a hit by Kabous Elof. Unfortunately, Matthew Wessels ran into the wrong channel there. And the turnover was also good by Kraus. His father, Piet Kraus, which of course played for the Blue Bulls and the Lions and the Cats as well.
So certainly the wrong man to run into. You saw Kabous Elof, but unfortunately now a man down for Grey College. Holding thumbs that he is okay.
And I have to take the utmost precaution, especially when it looks like it could be a neck injury or a head injury. I'm not sure what number it is.
Yeah, so you heard the words there from Renier Coetzee, the referee. And the man down who is getting back to his feet now, Christopher Schroeder, the fly half for Grey College. So glad to see him back on his feet, but it doesn't look as if he'll be playing any more part in this game.
And that's a big loss for Grey. Losing your pivot so early in a match, especially at school level. And that's almost exactly what happened last year. They had a couple of injuries in the first half. And Affies was able to take advantage of it and beat him there in Bloemfontein. First time ever.
Crouch.
So the man replacing Schroeder at pivot Jaco Wessels. He's got a big job in his hands. I don't think he would have expected to have been playing a part in this match so early, under 5 minutes in.
Yeah, and he most probably just finished the second team match. He's got 70 minutes of rugby already behind his.
Well, the good news for him, he has a chance to redeem himself in terms of the Grey College results. Of course, the second team from Grey going down 25-20 to Affies. Play on the last play of the match. Affies scoring the try. So defensive position here for Grey College. Scrum just outside their 22. Still no score on the board.
Fine. Set. Wag voor hom.
And a penalty there going the way of Grey College. Quickly taken there by Rivan Krier. Back to the scrum off. Goes blind. Eventually in the hands of Pretorius. Krier. Gideon Bierkes, the captain. Krier. Wessels, first touch of the ball for him. Van Jennigen. Excellent break from the centre. Pass it to. Pass it back to the inside. And it's a brilliant try for Grey College. Rivan Krier. Terrific play from Janko van Jennigen. Getting it back to his scrum off. And Grey College strike first.
Wow. We said before the match, keep an eye on the centre pairing for Grey College. But Janko van Jennigen, individual brilliance. It's Rivan Krier, he finished it, but look at that step. He beats the first, beats Kraus, beats the fullback. He doesn't even step, it's like he swerves. And Rivan Krier, he finishes it, but unbelievable work by Janko van Jennigen. And that's what legends are made of at schoolboy rugby.
He will remember that for a very long time. And the extras are good. So, Grey College, first blood to them for the visitors. That man in picture, Rivan Krier, scoring the try, but the man doing all the hard work, Janko van Jennigen.
And it came from a quick tap, exactly what we said. It's the tempo with which they play. Outside Kraus, he steps the fullback inside. Oh no, it was a scrum off that came across. The captain, Skalk Erasmus, he's just too late. And a brilliant try by Grey College.
And as you mentioned, Etienne, full credit to Grey College with the quick tap. You don't see that often, collected by the try scorer, Krier. Venter. Krier to Wessels. Long boot from the fly, but he doesn't find clearance. It's collected by Jaco Labuschagne. Hart. Long pass out from De Swart to Van der Schyff. Gets through one, eventually brought down. Pops it out to Van Wyk. Hart. Elof. Elof can't hold on. Well stolen by College, bad penalty.
It's against Matthew Wessels. He came in from the side. And the referee, Renier, could say he's not happy with that. I think this is a good decision by Affies. Just get onto the board. Let Ruan de Swart put it over, settle the nerves a little bit. I think they're a little bit bomb-shot from this quick start by Grey. Keep an eye there on Matthew Wessels. He should release the tackler, Kobos Elof, after he went down. There should be daylight.
So as you mentioned, Etienne, certainly the home crowd shell-shocked with that start from Grey College. A quick tap from within their own half, resulting in a try for Rivan Krier after some phenomenal work from outside centre Janko van Jennigen. But Ruan de Swart, a chance to get Affies on the board. And it's a good kick from the fly half, just inside the half of Grey College. Affies are on the board, 7-3 after 9.
Now that's very important for Affies, just to settle the nerves a little bit. The game has been so quick, the tempo so high. They haven't even been able to bring their big pack into the game.
The restart from David Kriel. Easily collected by Labuskachny.
Dis 'n maal. Wat jy entry 7 nee, kom maar.
Excellent defense here from Grey College. Look to turn over. And they do. Brilliant defense, and that's not how Affies would have wanted to handle the restart.
Yeah, the referee was quite quick on his maul call there. Great keeping the player up in the air. Looks like the H-man, Jakula Labuskachny. Brilliant work. It was the winger, Mannes Boshoff. You see immediately Dejan Skoeniers in there as well.
Dejan Skoeniers, having played Craven Week last year, he'll fancy his opportunity from here. Attacking scrum for Grey College. Very good shove there from Affies. Kriel manages to clear, gets it out to Wessels. To Van Jenniken, to his fullback, Celia. Keeps it in play, but it is ruled to have gone out. So how was that shove from Affies?
Yeah, and for the viewers out there that might be thinking, why did Affies stop? At schoolboy level, you're only allowed to scrum 1.5 meters. You're not allowed, it's like in senior rugby, to completely smash a scrum. You could hear the referee shout, they stop.
Right.
Well taken there by Pretorius. And running there from Van der Schyff.
Nee, 7. Staan daar.
Eventually, Affies clear it, and it does find touch. Very good clearance there, in fact.
And it looks like Vian Klobbers, the sixth flanker for Grey, took a bit of a knee to the head there. He is completely off his feet. Five-man line out for Grey.
Wessels with the throw, collected by Skoeniers. Quickly out. Pop back out to Wessels. Kriel.
Nie hoog nie, 13.
Nice running from the fullback. And he can't hold on. College managed to turn it over.
Okay, los hom nou. Bly stil, bly net nie.
Hart. Van Wyk.
Jy's op die grond.
So penalty for College. Just outside the 22 of Affies.
It's against Arno van Wyk, the tight head of Affies. And another player going off for Grey. It's a number 6, Vian Klobbers. 2 players off now for concussion. First, it was Christoph Schreuder, the fly off, and now the flanker Vian Klobbers.
So another big blow for Grey College, losing yet another player. Vian Klobbers will be making his way to the sidelines, but they do have a chance to narrow the gap to just 1. Rikus Pretorius with the opportunity. And the inside centre makes no mistake, so make that narrowing the gap to 4. Good kick there from Rikus Pretorius.
It was for a high tackle. The outside centre, Mannes Potgieter, whose father coincidentally also played for Affies in 1984 to 1986. He was blown up for a high tackle.
One kick from the centre, and on it, Van Wyk.
Terug.
Hard hit there on Gideon Bjerkes, the captain. Wessels with the clearance. Labuskachny. Hart. High up and under. Doesn't get much meterage. Does the scrum off. Collected by Boshoff. So quickly taken Kriel. Goes blind. And a hard hit there from Potgieter. Wessels. Kriel. Hard hits on Marcel Tjennison.
Los nou Wit, los hom net om gaan.
Kriel. Bjerkes, the captain. Kriel to Wessels. Skoeniers. Excellent player amongst the backs. Boshoff. Hard to stop, has been the winger. Can't hold on though. Turnover for Affies.
Los hom blou. Terug hierso, terug, bietjie terug, boys, terug.
Hart, another kick from the scrum up. Partial charge down. Cleared out to De Swart.
Touch my blue.
And he eventually does find touch. So those little errors costing Gray at the moment, Etienne.
Yeah, 100%. But even in saying that, Affies under an enormous amount of pressure this first 15 minutes of a game. They haven't really even played any rugby outside of our own half.
So Affies lineouts have been good so far. Another good one there, Dylan Dupree collecting. But a penalty.
3 aan die kant af.
Referee blowing up. Jakula Beskagni coming in from the side. Might be a bit harsh, I'd say. Affies definitely have a dominance when it comes to set piece, clearly, but they just had no chance to enforce it. And now, it's a fullback, David Creel, he's going for side. And they fancy the chances for a drive here, looks like it.
Well, interesting decision there. We saw them take a quick tap inside their own half. Now, in a kickable position, deciding to go for touch.
Wait, backline.
And quickly taken by Grey Bloom. Massive opportunity here for the visitors. Kriya to Wessels. He's at Wessels, goes through.
Release.
Held over the line, but quickly take. Still can't quite get over Affies' defense. Pretorius, long pass to Celia. Celia makes no mistake. Terrific play from the Grey College backline.
Almost too easy for Grey. They played quickly at the line out. And then there was so much space on the outside. It's a skip pass behind the forwards. And just one pass to Celia. He rounds it off in a corner. And they got caught out for numbers, Affies. Completely exposed on the open side.
Tell you what an impact Jaco Wessels has had since he's come on. Grey College suffering a massive blow when they lost Christopher Schroeder, their fly-off early. But Wessels, who had a storm here for the seconds, looks as if he's belonged. And the kick from Rickers Pretorius going just left. Unable to add the extras, but Grey College, a tremendous start for the visiting side.
Yeah, and look how bunched the Affies defenders are. Too many next to the rock. And there's too much space on the outside for Grey College. And if you thought that Affies was shell-shocked earlier, they are completely bomb-shocked now.
Another long restart, can't collect from Bierkus. Affies with a chance now, Krauser. And a penalty for Affies, and a much needed penalty at that. Interesting decision here. Trailing by 12 points, but in front of the posts.
Yeah, it's a big call. And they're going for touch. The set pieces are superb. I mean, in the pack alone, 4 players that played Craven Week last year. We saw the previous scrum that complete dominance, line out as well. It was good work by the winger, Christian Strydom, a 7th player. Kraus taking it up. And there we see the number 7 from Grey, John Fenter, falling over the ball. And that's what the penalty was for.
Solid line out here from Affies. They'll fancy their chances here as they inch towards the 5 meter. And they crash over! Try! What a response from Affies. And it's that man, Skalkie Rasmus, the captain.
Yeah, we spoke earlier. We said Affies definitely will have dominance when it comes to the forwards. Big backer forwards, very well coached. They set the foundation. It's Henk Pretorius. But all the hard work is done by the guys in front of a captain Erasmus. He peels off a little bit. But it's too late for Grey. John Fenter can't stop him. Excellent work, and that's exactly what Affies want. They want to take control of this game by bringing the game to exactly what they want to do. Set pieces. Play to their strong points.
I'm glad you mentioned the set pieces. We've seen how strong they've been in the lineouts. We've had a few scrums, and of those scrums, Affies have been completely dominant. Round de Swat. Chance to take his side into double figures. And he does just that. It looked as if it was going left, but it managed to curl its way in. A good kick from the fly half. So we've got a game on our hands. Affies 10, Great College 15.
Look at that great foundation that I set. Elof in the front there. Look how hard he's working. Excellent try by the forwards.
Terrific restart there from David Kriel, just going past.
Kom uit, Wit, kom uit, Wit, kom uit, Wit.
Kriel to Wessel. He's had a lot of games so far. Van Heunigen.
Laaste voete.
Kriel. To Van Tonda. Takes some stopping. Kriel. Opts to go left. Wessels. Benchy collected by Skoonius.
Rol, Wit. Mooi.
Kriel.
Rol, dankie.
Kriel goes blind once more to Van Heunigen. Kriel, De Beer. Kriel blind once more. Boshoff. Boshoff gets past one.
Kom 5.
Reaches the 5 meter. Kriel finds Van Tonda. Van Tonda goes over. No stopping the big lock from close range.
Great work by Van Tonda. The defense of Affies might be a little bit soft. Once off runners by Gray. Still couldn't stop them. Look at the line by the tight head Gideon Bekes. That pulled in a couple of defenders. And then Van Tonda running just behind his back. And we saw earlier a penalty was given against them for a block line. But this time, Gideon Bekes ran straight through. So then there is no block line. Great work by the players.
It was almost rugby by numbers there. They just edged their way up the field, phase by phase by phase. As you mentioned, breaking the first, second phase tackles. And then Yaka Van Tonda doing the rest. But terrific play from Grey College. What a way to respond. Rickers Pretorius with another conversion. Grey College 22-10. It's been end-to-end stuff here in Pretoria. Martinus Boshoff evading the early tackles. Kriel getting it out to his lock. Two men tried to stop him and they couldn't.
Yeah, Affies will definitely have to up the defense pressure. It's too easy for Gray at this stage.
Skoonius, well collected. Came crashing back down to earth, but he'll be okay.
Los hom, Wit. Ja.
Kriel opts to go to boot. On one upfield. Collected by Labuschagne. He hands it out to his backline. Janse van Vuren responds in kindness. Skoonius, make that Kriel collects.
Take him back.
Wessels knocks it up, and we've got a foot race here. Was it a knock on? If not, then it is a try for Grey College. And they get it over. Try number 4, and it's that man, Janke van Heunigen.
The Affies defense in complete disarray. They kicked just before that. You have to think that the back three, all three of them chased the ball, so they were completely exposed in the backside. Gray just putting it on foot, and there was oodles of space in the back. Just look at that. No idea why the winger, Karel Koch, came up. There was nobody at the back, and although he's a 102-meter athlete, it was Martinus Boshoff that just had too much gas there.
So terrific running from Martinus Boshoff. A little question mark as to whether he did get a hand on the ball, but the referee and the touch judge ruling no. And it simplest of tries for Janke van Heunigen. You remember he did all the hard work in the very first try, which was scored by Riven Kriel. That time round, him getting on the score sheet. The easy as you like. So what a performance so far from Grey College. Jaco de Beer collects with ease. Skoonius takes. Been very prominent as the 8th man. But a knock on. from Grey College. So Affies with the put in.
Dis jou eie ou gewees.
And Affies is going to have to respond immediately now.
$29-10. Home crowd can't quite believe what they've seen. And unbelievably, going into this game, if you asked a neutral, they would have probably said that Grey College would have been the underdogs.
Bind. Set. Los, flykie.
So we've asked to watch for Kobus Elof, the SA Schools prop at loose head. He hasn't had many opportunities so far. The last scrum, in fact, very much going the way of Affies.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Wag van.
Hart with the put in. Good shot from Affies. Hart gets it out to his fly to Swat. Pops inside. And that's Van der Skyf. Then she goes down.
Van die voet af.
And Affies unable to hold on. So turnover for Grey College. Wessels with the clearance. And it's a very good one. What a performance from the man who was on the bench prior to this game, but came on as early as the 5th minute.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, Jaco Wessels, secret weapon for Grey. He's having a fantastic game so far. A big man for a fly-off, very muscular, but he's got all the skill to back it up.
Well, you know what's even more interesting? He is operating at inside centre for the second team. So not only is he a reserve, but he's a reserve in a position where he's not too familiar at. Good drive here from the Affies forwards.
Kom uit 3. Speel.
And there's a lone man there for Affies, but the Grey College defence surrounding him in numbers. And it looks as if it could be a turnover, and it is.
Yeah, that's great work. It was a flanker, Jean Venter. He got in on the ball, kept it up, and I won the turnover. Keep an eye here on the number 7, Jean Venter. He's talking to the ref there. He says, I've got my hands on the ball. Fantastic work on the fence. And they've really come with intent, Grey College. From minute 1, absolutely high tempo. They're playing with passion.
Crouch.
And I think they've blown Affies a little bit off the field with that intensity of theirs.
Well, I think Skalk Erasmus must have a word with his forwards, because he was completely isolated at one stage. It was him surrounded
Play off
by the blue of Grey College. Another good shot from Affies. Wessels gets it out to Van Jeneging. Takes some stopping, gets past 2. Can't find his man, but it eventually ends up in the hands of Wessels. Creer goes blind. But it was a possible intercept there from Affies, but couldn't quite hold on. So we'll go back for the scrum. Affies will be happy with that. We've seen how dominant they have been at the set piece.
Yeah, but the only problem is in schoolboy rugby, it's extremely difficult to scrum the opposite team off their own ball. You can only go 1.5 meters. So it hasn't really counted in their favor, but dominance comes scrum time.
Crouch.
So Creer going blind, and it was Laurits van der Skyf who got his hand to the ball.
Bind. Verder
And we heard the boys in the background appealing for deliberate knockdown there.
Creer, another brilliant scrum there from Affies. There they finally get the turnover. So tight head, very rare in schoolboy rugby, as you heard Etienne speak, but Affies with the chance now. An advantage being played, so we'll go back for the penalty.
Excellent scrum by that powerful pack of Affies. And then they win the penalty as well. Now they can send the ball downfield, set up that strong maul of theirs, and try and hammer this great team with the weapons that's working for them.
That's exactly what they are going to do. Ruan de Swart finding touch well inside the half of Grey College. But look at this, Etienne.
Yeah, and it's an 8-man scrum. Led by the front row, and especially Kobus Elof. But a lot of the power coming from the back. Dylan de Brie, Henk Pretorius.
Another opportunity for Affies on the cusp of half-time. And turnover. Excellent work there from Skunius for Grey College. Giving Grey attacking opportunity. And a hard tackle there on Van Henneken.
Los op het, los op het, los op het.
College managed to keep hands on the ball, but only just. Van Henneken playing scrum off.
Ja, jy het verloor nou, speel. Bal is uit, speel.
The ball's loose. Turnover from Affies. Ruan de Swat operating at scrum off. Gets it out to Hart. Chips ahead, but will go back for a penalty. Seems to be a man down for Affies.
Yes, number 6, Rega du Plessis. You see the coaching team of Grey. Rega du Plessis' father, Gustav, played for Transvaal, Cravenweek. So rugby's in his blood.
So de Swat finding touch. Look at this tackle.
It's a good tackle by Christian Strydom. Help there by Maresport Gieter.
So unfortunately, Affies losing Rega du Plessis. It's being carried off the field.
And it looks like it's his knee. His knee's already heavily strapped. You gotta feel sorry for the young man. Let's hope it's not too serious. Very unfortunate. He played Cravenweek last year as well. And let's just hope it's not too serious. That might jeopardize his chances this year.
Definitely is the knee, as you mentioned, Etienne. You can see him clutching it. So he's on the sideline. But Affies with an opportunity to strike just before half-time.
Looks like number 21 coming up. Henry Kutzer.
Los, Mol.
So Affies build on their drive. We saw how potent this weapon was with the earlier try. Erasmus, the captain. Also the earlier try scorer. Hart gets it out to the big man. Hart to Krauser. Krauser keeps on going. Not over yet, but it will be. Ruan de Swat, a clear eye for the line, making no mistake. So Affies striking just before half-time. Brilliant work from the forwards before they unleashed Ruan de Swat.
Yeah, it's a provincial cricket player, Ruan de Swat. He scores a try, but exactly like you said, the hard work was done by the forwards from Affies. And we said beforehand, the key is going to be the forwards of Affies. They worked quite hard, they sucked in all the numbers. And that is exactly what Affies should be doing the whole day long. Send those forwards around the corner, let them pull in all the defense, and then a space will open up on the outside.
I think credit must go to Jack Hart, the scrum half for Affies. I think a lot of scrum halves would have tried and got themselves right by the line, not many defenders. But he handed it off to Ruan de Swat, who really, it was the simplest of tries for the fly-off. So after crossing the chalk, he now has an opportunity to add another 2 points to his tally. A superb kick from the fly-half. Affies still in this.
46 points in the first half so far. What a game. As we can see, too many defenders in at that ruck. And all the Swat has to do, just around a little bit of an outside line. And Affies not letting go of this at all, Derek.
Not at all. College with the restart. Well taken by Pretorius. And a penalty for Affies. So, Late opportunity here for Affies in this first start. The scoreline reads 17 Affies, 29 Grey College. And in fact, if you go back to last year, Affies winning this clash 29 points to 18. So just 1 point difference, of course, going the other way this time round. But if you look at the past couple of seasons, high scoring affairs between these two sides.
100%. Last chance for Affies now to get some points. Well carried by Henk Pretorius, a water polo player, provincial water polo player.
Some more. Use it.
You could see Squinnis trying his best to dive over there and stop the surge from Affies, but Affies keep ball in hand. Potgieter. Hart.
Rol 19, kom uit 19.
Hart clears it to his backs. The try scorer, this one. Gets it straight into the hands of Pretorius. Pretorius shows a clean pair of heels. Gets it back inside. To Van Jenneken, can't quite hold on. Affies, a lifeline for them. Jack Hart.
Los hom, los die hande daar, terug hier so terug.
Eventually cleared. Grey College, a superb opportunity. And Ruan de Swart from hero to almost zero, kicking it straight into the hands of College. And the visitors coming very close to scoring.
Yeah, it was excellent work by Jack Hart in defense. Rikus Pretorius from Grey, he did extremely well. But let's hope the second half is just as exciting as this first half.
Well, 29-17 to Grey College. 4 tries to 2. We've got a classic clash on our hands here in Pretoria.